Welcome back to the ESL Challenger League Season 46. It's the Asia division that we continue on with. I'm T-Time, joined by none other than Michael, Yumi, Spirit, Cassidy. Now, listen, Michael, obviously we're moving on in towards the end of the season as well. Playoffs are right around the corner, and now we've got a lot of teams figuring out where they sort of stand going into this one, right? How are you? Sorry, I do apologize to the viewers at home. I'm coughing a little bit. I got something down with my throat. I'm gonna have to drink some water while I'm at it as well. But, you know, Michael, how are you feeling about these teams that are sort of, you know, all coming up over here, right? There's been so much trial and so many things going wrong within this season. Well, T-Time, you know, this is going to be one of those situations where we've had a lot of teams actually exiting, right? And with that, it's been a bit of a hard time because, you know, we've got the former Tai Lu guys going out. Their international project didn't really work out for them. And obviously, we've had D13 withdrawing from the season as well. Yeah, Michael, it does seem to be one of those situations where, like, unfortunately, in the Asia League, we do struggle with keeping all 15 teams aligned throughout competition all the way through. But you know what? The teams that we have for you guys today are teams that have been here consistently all throughout. It'll be ATOX going up against GR Gaming. Obviously, if anyone of you guys are unfamiliar with the ATOX side, you might have seen them at the previous RMR. They were called Eruption back then, now underneath a different organization. Yep, you're right about that, T-Time, but, you know, we also have to keep in mind, might be a different organization, but also a couple of different faces. Cabal has really integrated nicely into this entire squad, right? He was out for a while. He had, from what we understand, I think he was having a child or something on those lines, but he was really just, you know, doing well coming into this newer lineup from ATOX. Obviously, he's been such a veteran, but actually been delivering some frags as well. GR Gaming, though, I mean, I'm not as familiar with them. I know they've been around a lot. I know I've seen them in the seasons a lot, but we haven't gotten to class them as much. So, you know, what about you, T-Time? I know you've actually maybe coached a few teams that have gone against them and whatnot. Michael, yeah, they're one of the few long-standing Eastern Russian teams that has actually continued on within the ESL Challenger sort of environment, right? We see a lot of other teams coming in. They don't do as well. They're very often relegated. Even right now, we look over towards a couple of the bottom teams. It is Lonely, S, -72C, and Fire Esports. All three of them are those Eastern Russian teams. And you're always flirting with regulation. It feels like GR Gaming is the only contender against it. And in fact, if you look at the standings right now, ATOX is 3rd on the leaderboard and GR is 5th on the leaderboard. ATOX is 5-2, GR is 5-3. So this one match matters a lot to both of these teams. And that's going to be reflected as well. Hell, in fact, if you're even looking back towards the ESL Cash Cups, Michael, it's been like a really interesting time because sometimes you see GR Gaming and ATOX duking out in finals and whatnot, but ATOX has got a winning record against them. They should be the very clear favorite sort of going into this entire thing. But yeah, Michael, I know you had some ideas about what the veto could actually look like as well. So, you know, sort of, let's run through the veto as well. Sorry, man. It's a rough day at work, right? Am I right, Michael? But yeah, let's head through the vetoes as well very quickly, sort of see how exactly they're going to be going. But wow. Oh, wow, this is interesting. The Inferno ban coming through, not too surprising. GR doesn't like to prioritize that all that much. Overpass then being banned out by the Mongolian side. Ancient for GR is interesting because ATOX actually really likes that. It's a map that they have picked at times themselves as well, but the Anubis isn't too surprising. We've seen a lot of teams in the Asian region sort of defaulting back to that. Interestingly enough, it's very similar to the veto of last week's matchup from what our producers were sort of telling us. And then finally, we do have sort of the nuke ban coming up from GR, Vertigo, and then Overpass is a decider. Now, I'm curious about how we've got two Overpasses, right? Like, we've got a decider Overpass, we've got a banned Overpass. Like, what's going on over here? So maybe we need to sort of consult the storyboard a little bit more. I think there might have been a couple of mistakes, but obviously, you know what, if Overpass has been banned out, I'm guessing Mirage is the decider, and you know what, we'll probably have that updated in the graphics of it eventually. Doesn't matter all that much, right? So yeah, you're right, Michael. We do have ourselves the Ancient, Anubis, and Mirage coming through. This is going to be interesting, right? Like, as you mentioned, ATOX really likes that Ancient pick. Yami is very confident on it. They do some interesting stuff, actually, where they do double op T-sign as well sometimes. And it's weird because Coolest and Yami have sort of this, you know, frenemies dynamic going on in it, because Coolest likes to op as well, and he is the opper, but Yami on the T side feels like he's much more aggressive on the opping role. And it's very interesting to sort of see that integrated together. So when you see these guys on the server, you'll have a lot of really explosive moments. Coolest on the AK can sometimes let Yami get the op if he's got the spawn, so you don't really ever know exactly what's going on. ATOX has had a lot of big upsets on it, but in fact, funnily enough, Michael, I'm glad that you brought over the ESCA Cash Cup situation, because it was a 13-11 the last time these two teams played up against each other in the ESCA Cash Cup finals. So on Ancient, at least, the other map was Mirage, if I remember correctly, and that didn't go too well for them. It was 13-8. So if GR wanted to have a chance here, at least they're leaning into a pick that they have done well on before, but I think overall it has to be said, this should be an ATOX win any day of the week, right, Michael? Yeah, T, I mean, you are right about that one. I think it's hard not to favor ATOX out in this one, but we'll figure it out sort of how it's going. Man, I've got some really bad eczema or something. I'm going to keep having to scratch my face. Weird stuff, Michael. But you know what? I'm going to figure out my things, Michael, while you go ahead and keep hitting on with that hard-hitting analysis. We're going to go to a short break. We'll be back with the match very soon. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We're going to be heading right into the match. It's ATOX versus GR, starting off on the map pick of GR Ancient, allowing the ATOX guys to pick their side as well. It's going to be interesting as we sort of see how everything shapes up. Of course, everyone who watched out the pre-show, just a heads up, guys, I will be doing that for the next few segments as well, but you know, there were a couple of time zone issues coming on because of daylight savings kicking in, not kicking in, all of that stuff. But yeah, it's been a fun time. We're going to be seeing exactly how things shape out right now, though. It's serious faces time. I'm Tea Time, and hopefully I'll be joined by Michael Yumi Cassidy later on as well, not just in spirit and in a swanky tie. But remember, guys, the second we go to Pro Show, it's back on, right? It's back on. For now, though, Mick started off with 2 pistols instead of just the 1, picking up the dualies for himself. Mick's a player who has had a lot of criticism, or not really criticism, but a lot of spotlight shown on him. He's had some high highs and some low lows, and it's questioning which Mick are we going to see. And according to that, I think a lot of the ATOX side will be realizing their potential. Wecht is out in the open with the P250, looking to accelerate. It is Dobu to take him down, though. That's a lone death, and that won't be conducive at all, but it's actually a fake. They're going right back over to the A-bomb site through Donut. Molotov goes out deep, but Coolis is already rotated back to the bomb site. Coolis trying to keep himself alive on barely any HP, will fall as well. Ivan to be the man to take him apart. Dobu's been locked out, but the bomb's actually turned back to find Mick, and now they could even look to reroute if they'd like to. They know where Dobu is, and now that he's dead, they could think about it, but Ivan has locked them all into Temple. It's a one-on-one, but Cabal's low. Cabal has been very good at a lot of these clutches, though, but the question is, will this be any of them? Sound Q giving up, and Mediocrity can finish him off as well. GR start off strong on the pistol. Did look a little bit like it's difficult times going on over towards the B-bomb site. When we saw Wecht die initially, obviously you can see what the thought process is here for the GR side. That being said, they do get a little bit fortunate about the kill coming into the player flanking them in from Donut. Mediocrity got some crucial frags. Did feel like ATOX sort of slowed things down and didn't need to accelerate like that, though they were probably looking to deny the bomb plant. Very important these days. Right down middle they go. Mac 10s galore, and it is money to be made, and a lot of it. Unfortunately, they do lose 2 players, but they're not too worried about that, seeing as they were 2 of the Mac 10s. Now comes out the big boys, now comes out the gun rounds. So it's interesting that Salo's the one picking up the AWP. I would expect that to be passed over to Wecht. I have to say, I have not casted much of GR, but their coach is someone who I do talk to on and off. Dupreece, shout out to him, one of the few Hong Kong representatives in Counter-Strike. I'm sure Michael would appreciate that quite a bit if he was around right now. Wecht is gone. Coolest to be the man to intercept him. Dobu as well gets another one. They keep on peeking, and it seems like GR is just not ready for the onslaught of wide swings. Mediocrity and QQ God are the only ones left alive. And Mediocrity, as trained as he is on the angle, it would have been a hard shot to hit. Now Mick's gone, and Dobu has to put up the defense instead. There is a flank being set up as well. They know where the bomb should be headed, but Mediocrity's gone and found another kill. With his demise being met, Coolest can put himself in a much better position. The cubby is hard to clear enough as it is, even more so when you consider that QQ also has to go through every other possible path. Ivan is his name on the kill feed, if you're not aware. I wasn't, that's for sure. Flash overhead. Yummy. Doesn't actually peek out. Good to see him being tempered. This was a 2v5, but QQ now has to be wary about Cabal. Cabal finds him right through the wall. Will not be waiting for a fair duel. Does not want to take the risk when they've already lost out so many. ATOX giving up way more than they bargained for. And GR, I mean, sure, they did have a lot of Mac 10 kills, but to remind everyone, Salo bought up an AWP in that previous round. So those Mac 10 kills are heavily negated by it. So even though there is a force spy on their side, it's not one which is going to have a lot of utility behind it. So ATOX's MP9s and UMP might be still putting them in a pretty fair fight. Now, Dobu, MP9 at the ready. Reminder does end up taking him down. Very crucial kill because now there's two players coming in for the flank. Reminder will have the shadow advantage, but he wants to try and fight before they can actually come in. Reminder picks up Yami. Kulis in the meanwhile is found wrecked and could be a second coming his way. Salo contests, but not too long. Reminder's coming over and Kulis realizing that risk will have to be careful. Almost caught with utility in his hand, but a smoke down will not prevent him from going down. Mick might be traded soon as well, so he'd rather fade away into the confines of that smoke. Cabal, good position found, and Mediocrity is a better kill as well. Now, Cabal is low, so QQ's been set up for success. He doesn't have the bomb, but Cabal's made a lot of noise as he makes his way back over to the B bomb site. I don't think he realized that the bomb cannot be retrieved and has not been retrieved, but what is going on here? ATOX. Full circle through from lane as well. They're trying to push forward, and although this might end up in an advantage for them should they find the bomb, the question is, can QQ find the healthy player? Mick's not going to be checking this angle. First shot is good. Spots out Cabal as well, who's now trying to upgrade back to the AK. He knows it's his only chance. The first bullet headshot. Doesn't know QQ was tagged up a little bit. QQ comes up big. This is huge from GR, all cascading from that first death of Dobu. Really nicely played. That lane control fight just made it so much more difficult for ATOX to transition through with their plan of trying to crunch down onto one player over outside Cheetah. Cheetah? Wow, when I'm not casting with someone who speaks in his first language English, I can't remember how they... Is it Cheetah? I feel like it's Cheetah. This is a lot easier when I hear someone say it every round. Well, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and ATOX has found more weaknesses than strengths inside themselves. Wecht is going to be pushing forward slowly but surely. Surety, however, is not always a good thing. He was sure there was no one in the corner, and Dobu reminds him that a smack on the head will prove him wrong. Still, trades galore. A recovered AK is not a good thing, but fortunately there's no Kevlar behind it, so GR can take some small solace in it. ATOX AK, again, recovery is en route, but Mediocrity is content with even just the clock. Mick, revealing position, needs to be careful with the pre-fires because the lack of armor would have made that an unfair fight should even a bullet have connected. He is able to get one, so Dobu's got a chance. And if there was anyone to do it, it would be Dobu. Now, QQ's decision is interesting. I don't know if they realize that Dobu was going back. The bomb's been dropped, the cleanest shot you'll ever see. Dobu, the demon of the east, does not realize Reminder is around the corner, but he will check nonetheless. No armor needed. It all comes out from a sloppy clear inside the B house. Deep smoke from Cabby. I know it's not Cabby, but you know, me and him, we're tight like that. We're actually not. We're really not. We've talked once. I feel like, you know, you don't get tight with someone just because you talk once. Dobu, though, has gotten pretty tight with Reminder. And by tight, I mean he's killing him, which I feel like is a very close bond. It's a bond that doesn't go very far in terms of developing long-term relationships is concerned. But you know what? Sometimes it's the short things that you remember. Salo's gonna remember a couple of those missed shots, but not the second one. That is as pretty as it gets. Yami does, however, prevent him from getting real estate on the bomb site. It is still 2-on-2, so these rounds continue to be as close as can be. But I like this from Yami. He's pushing forward slowly, taking up territory inside Donut while Mick plays choke. By choke, I mean he's choking out the T side. He's got them in a leg lock and they are tapping out slowly. QQ is the only breath of air they have left in their lungs, but it is a big one. Unfortunately, not a long one. Again, these short-term interactions can mean so much, but ATOX to them, what it means is another round win. Are we finally going to see an eco coming through? Seems like it might be the case. Seems like it should be the case. Well, not quite the hardest eco you'll see, but with a $2,400 loss bonus, they feel like they've got more to flex. They're not right about that. But should they get a bomb on, at least there is that to work off of. Now, Krulis accelerates, but he hasn't really taken any care of the deagles on the other side. If they're not hitting shots, I guess you don't need to care. Just don't let them hit shots, lol. Got another smoke. Yes, it is. Salo's trying to work inside of it, and he's found the player reloading. Does pick up the M4. Can he get back with it? Yes, Salo. Very strong pickup, and a flashbang might be leading him in for another duel. One that is certain death when Dobu's on the other side. So, for once, we are going to have a clean round. ATOX keeping 4 players alive, and unless QQ is going to be here with a couple of big ones, I don't think that's going to change. Now, listen, he is the man you would expect it from. 11 kills. He's headlining the scoreboard and the server by quite a fair margin. But I don't think he's got what it takes to actually give us anything more in this round. Really, he's asking for death, and if he can take one more with it, well, that's a free bucket of fries that you just got with your burger. Unfortunately, he's not quite got the coupon code. He's not downloaded the app. He's not really made friends with the cashier. I know that sounds like it's French, but it's really not. I mean, it might be etymologically. English is a weird language. It comes from a lot of different ones. Hell, depending on some people you'd ask, English comes from English as well. American English can be kind of odd. They do remove a lot of U's. I've heard that's the right way of doing it. Apparently, adding the U's is antiquated, but whatever, man. I don't know. I just follow what Microsoft Word tells me to. But is it red underlined? Yes, it is. Well, and now it's gone. Now Cabal's also gone. QQ's the one to accelerate. They don't realize Vector's behind. He's sandwiching them, but Yami doesn't like to be the meat in the sandwich. He'd rather be the bread. Trying to move forward. Reminder, though, molds him up. Yami jumping up. M4 shots connecting. So he's really getting some Tony Hawk moves out. Mick, however, he's more of a hitman. Trying to creep in silently. Mediocrity trades across the map. And QQ still alive, and his performance continues. 13-5. It feels like GR owes so much of their success onto this one man's shoulders. ATOX will always be on the verge of having their money wiped out, but GR's responsibility is singular. Get 2 in a row, and right now that responsibility can be met. You're not just looking at a 6-4, you're looking at a 6-4 with still an advantaged buy. There shouldn't be an AWP available. Coolest yet to really feature one. But it's not to any major effect. I do like this from ATOX. They've changed things up. They've prioritized going for an A push rather than going for any mid presence. Now this light is actually really damn annoying. This new light added into the A main corner makes it so that you can't actually back off. It is a death sentence. So Cabal is committed. Also, it really hurts your eyes. Honestly, it's hard to look into that. It's like a flashbang all the time. But you still get flamed if you die while the slide is flashing you. Speaking of flashes, that's a flash going over nearby. Doesn't do much. Salo. Tip, tap, toe, and as in they're towing their way away from him. They do not want to contest. Mediocrity, though, he's still nearby. Holding on for the possibility of another frag, but Cabal is down and over when he finally pushes. QQ was waiting for him for so long. Make not traded. Reminder doesn't have the weapon to do it, and Dobu's side swipe on the SMG is fantastic. That allows him to recover the Galil as well, but there's no duel to be won or to be had. Deep nade, sure, but a spam is what would really seal Dobu's deal. Molly is dodged. And Mediocrity has found the equalizer, but with the time ticking down as low as it does feel like the B-side commitment is the only option. ATOX is unaware of that, though. Mediocrity did get a headshot. That means that the blackout of the camera would not have shown whether he has the bomb or not. So ATOX have to remain split. It's all Dobu, and he's looked away right at the worst timing possible. If there was ever a getting counter-struck moment, that would be it. I think that's a nice one, actually. I'd like to coin that. He got counter-struck. Because you can't say got CSGO'd anymore. May the great one rest in peace. The great one being CSGO, naturally. If you guys had any doubts about that, well, then you're either a 1.6 boomer or you're not very accustomed to listening to broadcasts. Either way, welcome to the new world. We've got Twitch and Subtick, depending on who you are. Not seen very many saves coming through. ATOX will show us one of the first as the M4 will be taken forward. Yami is a man who's known to do a lot with little, but so far he's been doing a little with a lot. A lot of buy rounds, a lot of luck that has gone his way. Honestly, that jumping M4 shot is still probably emblazoned in the GR minds, but for him to get anything accomplished here would be big. Now, I absolutely hate the fact that they've gone for a deagle on Mick. That actually makes their buy much worse in the next round. It's only 2,400. Remember, so he's on 42 unless he gets a kill. Yami has gotten a kill. Flashes will help him do just that. Can he make his way back over to the B bomb site before losing all of his teammates? Mick's lost already, so maybe not. Maybe not. Reminder. Big kill to be found. Coolest is gone as well. He has been one of the consistent players along with Mick. We asked which version we will see, and well, so far it seems to be the new one. The good one. The improved one. 6-4, and that's what I'm talking about, man. Look at their economy. Mick's on 4,200. Cabal's on 4,300. No one will have incendiaries should they prioritize an M4. And with Dobu going for the farmers, that's interesting. He's been a very important player to this team so far. You know, a couple of these crucial rounds that they've got. You think back to the Eco round that they were able to win out. Well, Eco, more like half by. I was down to Dogu picking up the M4, or rather the AK early on. Premium weapons, both of them, but one obviously is on the T side. Molly smokes all the bells and whistles, but noise will be made as the bells and whistles strike through. Yami, however, doesn't realize those are funeral bells and they are tolling. Reminder just sprays all the way through. It is an absolute drive by mediocrity. Knew where Dobu was, but Dobu still able to do it regardless of the weapon. Pharmacists are not normally seen as ideal guns, but when Dobu wields them, it's A-OK. Nade does actually work out somewhat against Coolest. QQ makes it a doable circumstance, but the circumstances have now changed. Cabal gets a jump on him as he's trying to bear down Donut. And GR will be losing out yet another round, and with that, yet another chance at actually cleaning up CT money. Wecht will now be on the op. He's 1-9. It's about time we saw it being picked up by him, I suppose. But in purchasing it up, he does deprive Salo of a slightly better buy. Also himself of a bit more utility. Utility, however, has not been a major feature in the GR side's execute so far. Coolest. Oh, beautiful from Salo. Even though Coolest does end up getting a headshot, that felt like it was almost accidental. A nade would finish off Salo, but it doesn't go anywhere near deep enough. T-side, though, they're moving in. Salo trying to take advantage of the small bits of chaos being strewn across the middle side. He is going to be taken down by Cabal. This does show a very split map, though. They knew there was one player in the middle. They knew there was one player on the B bomb site. Reminder is going to get one for free, but he waited too long. Mediocrity going down to Dobu. That is a mistake. A deep smoke will help, but Mick is trying to accelerate him before it blooms. Reminder, he's still going forward. A flashbang that doesn't blind anyone but him. Yami is given a freebie. I don't know what's going on there, because now he's got a chance to maybe even pick up the bomb before it's planted. QQ God trying to time out the end of that smoke and get a good nade out. Cabal will not be facing too much damage from it, but a flash through reveals the fact that he's pushing. The shadow advantage was there for Cabal, but QQ does just peek forward first and foremost. Yami put his gun away, still allowed to bring it right back. Weck doesn't hit the shot in time. He's had a difficult game so far. Don't blame him, but I do have to blame this round a little bit on the player coming out from Cheetah. Unfortunately for them, the 1v1 is won by Yami. Advantage given up. It is 6-6, and ATOX will take that round. Right back into all the action. It is a 6-6 scoreline, as even as it gets, but it did feel like it was even more even, if that makes any sense, than what the scoreline suggests. There were so many back and forths. Unfortunately, if we had maybe a little bit more activation from Wecht, this could have been an 8-4-7-5 situation. ATOX winning at a lot of disadvantages. QQ God, though, he's been great, and now he's looking to start things off, but unfortunately for him, Mick does peek right back, and Mediocrity is left alone on the A-bomb side. Goosh down 6 HP very soon, departing his soul. Bomb can be planted. There isn't a kit available unless they pick one up from one of the corpses. And while Reminder's trying to come in aggressively, it is going to be a 2-on-2. Reminder still reveals his position. Player nearby can't really find all of the shots to connect, but he's got so many in the magazines. The dualies advantage, meanwhile, goes full Beyblade. Spins around everywhere. Wecht is taking his sweet time to make his way over, but now he's second-guessing himself. He's unsure about what Yami is up to. Yami has got no idea where Wecht could be coming in from as well. It could be quite literally every single angle imaginable. Could be making his way back over the drone by now as well. Yami peeks forward, but he's running out of bullets, forced to reload. If he had a couple more in the chamber, then maybe could have actually taken them down. The stock, however, does end up winding through. Yami tapping the bomb, fully committing to the plot actually, and that leaves Wecht to be taken down with a stray bullet. 7-6 ATOX. Take that pistol. It's been quite a while since I've solo casted, so it's actually, I had forgotten how much harder it is to try and keep an eye out on the minimap the way you would for color casting, as well as doing play-by-play casting at the same time. And normally you sort of alternate, and then whenever you're, I mean, I'm lifting up the curtain for you guys, but normally what casters do is they'll alternate a little bit so that, you know, whenever the guy is sort of talking, you look at what the map's like, you set everything up in your head, but yeah. Mick, however, has found Salo, who has gone for the additional jump a little bit early on, and that means that he is revealed. Now, this XM can be deadly inside the cheetah, but this time Mediocrity still on the deagle, can't get a flick out, and Yami's just set up for success. An easy kill, and should be an easy bomb plant. I will say one of the nice things about Mongolian matchups versus East Russian teams is that they are on even ping. I think both of these teams should be on 60 ping. I'm assuming it's like the Taiwan servers or something like it. I actually don't know for sure, but I think that should be what it is. Or maybe it's the Tokyo server. I don't know. It's one of the servers. That's the point. And both teams do get pretty good ping, so it is one of the fairer sort of matchups that you can get as an Eastern Russian team. East Russia has the same issue as South Asia does for a lot of the Asian tournaments that do happen, which is that there's only 1 or 2 servers where they really get fair ping. Not to say this is an issue for all of South Asia, it's more of an issue for sort of like, you know, Western India and Pakistan more than the Bangladesh side. I think Bengali players can play on pretty much most of the Asian servers on decent playable ping. Not playable by European standards, of course. European Counter-Strike players are very spoilt in that regards. If anything goes over 30, they are saying it is unplayable. Slight exaggeration, but yeah. The force buy from GR was interesting, right? It's really fallen out of favor in the metagame currently. A lot of teams are now prioritizing just going full eco in the second round because there are so many fewer gun rounds should you end up losing like another round over here. 3 rounds being lost means it's probably 1 less gun round overall than you are playing in general. So it does feel like a slightly outdated commitment to go for, but even over here, the fact that they bought up so many deagles is surprising. Now, a kill is nice. Mediocrity can at least be grateful about that for his scoreboard's sake, but not really for the sake of the game. Right, you're going to see in this next round, Reminder won't have money to buy up, and well, QQ God and company might be able to pick up a gun or 2, but there will be fewer incendiaries, fewer Molotovs than you maybe would like to see. QQ could, however, make this more interesting. If he can get 1 kill here, there's an AK to be recovered. Molotov goes deep, not sure why he's turning around to look at it, but maybe he got a call, maybe thought there's an audio cue, something like it, but yeah. Wecht will be embracing his inner nudist with the naked op. $300 can go for a smoke, nothing else. In the meanwhile, you've got Mediocrity, no flashes. Still decent utility, I have to say, all things considered. Reminder, no flashes, no Molotovs. The head armor purchase does seem to be a little bit much for these guys, considering that they have spotted out the AKs on the other side. But maybe thinking that there's a chance that the money is lower. Wecht misses the jump. Now he needs to land the shot. Will not be able to find the jiggling player. Yami, though, that's a T-side up that I was talking about in the pre-show. The flashes continue forward. And as Salo will be just hovering around this smoke. Yami is the one who should have been able to find the frag. Reminder, however, takes advantage of the flying MP9. Salo's also getting aggressive. Coolest adjusts right on the nick of time. Now, 3-on-3. Coolest is trying to move back over to prevent the CTs from knowing exactly what is going on over here. Reminder's made noise, and although he's swinging out wide, Dobu can still adjust in time. Bomb spotted. But it was spotted going back over towards the A-bomb site. Wrecked late on the flick. And now QQ God has now intercepted the bomb. A nade in his hand will not be punished. He's allowed to pull out the M4 in time. But now the flank is what he's completely ready for. Coolest in a 1-on-2. Around which it looked like ATOX were in such a good position to win out. They've just got these small delays, small little problems because of which they've ended up losing the advantage. ATOX are going to be left in this round where it feels like both players are playing chicken, but Wecht has made noise, perhaps. No. Knife out, pulled out again, taken down. Coolest now knows he can go over to the B bomb site, but feels like he might not have time. If he goes through mid, he will, but he took a few extra steps, and QQ God now will be able to get a fair duel at the very least. He made noise. Coolest realizes it and will take away the 1-on-2. Really nicely done. ATOX up to 10. In hindsight, I should have, maybe I should have done the Michael voice as well, but I can't do the Michael voice when I was on for the pre-show. Hey! Michael's got a very distinct accent, one that I have nothing on. Beautiful voice that man has been blessed with. Salo, though, has been blessed with a couple of beautiful shots so far. Can it be another one here? No! Cabal's been getting the better of him over the smoke, and now Mediocrity might be feeling the same fate. Reminder is taken down, but not before he's gotten a kill of his own. Mediocrity. There's a grenade that Yami is intending to throw right over to him, but Mediocrity does at least give as good as he got. So a 1-for-1 from him, but it doesn't help the overall circumstances as time is ticking down for GR, not just in the round, but it seems like in the entire map, in their own map pick. Nice shot from Wecht. You have to commend some of the aim on these guys. It is impeccable, pristine.
Bomb has been planted.
QQ en route. We'll have a 1v1 versus Dobu and B House. It's a fair fight. Dobu's on 46, but Dobu, however, will just be backing off, not looking to engage in a fair fight. QQ still trying to pursue. Mick is just playing bodyguard at this point. And ATOX will find 11. It's a last hurrah, and there is very few things that say finality as loudly as the double up setup brought out from the CT side. The last hurrah, very much so. A situation where, well, even if you lose 4 players and then you win the round, you still practically condemned yourself to losing the game. So this is a big gamble. GR are looking to stomp a few rounds if they want to get back into this. So far, they've been unable to find a single round on their CT side. And this time, at least, they start off strong. Mediocrity takes a lot of damage to find that strength, but it's a trade-off he is happy to make. Salo, though, not too happy about that trade-off. Now he finds him. Salo's been contesting all alone down middle. Unfortunately for him, he had no company, he had no help. Cabal's not being silent about this. They've given up information, leaving a lurker behind in the form of Mick. Now, time's aplenty, but Reminder's got a huge amount of heads up. Unfortunately for Mediocrity, he's not quite able to put himself in a position where he's expecting the second player. 3-on-3, double up will make this a little bit easier since there aren't smokes available to block them out. So sight lines are important to capitalize on. Reminder, one of those sight lines has been whiffed out, to put it lightly. Now he's going to be forced to jump up and down, just try and keep himself alive. The reload will be coming through. A flashbang and the bomb is being planted right in his face. They're relying on the op not being able to fire through that smoke. Coolest recovers his flashed face in time, and now he's going in deep. Wecht is able to find another one Mixer alone. The lurking presence that was never truly revealed, but now he will be showing himself off. Ivan, rather the QQ god, he's going to be defusing out in the open so Mick can get at least one easy shot. The deep nade from Wecht will be making this a little bit more annoying, but it doesn't actually go all the way through, so Mick is A-okay. Defuse still not coming through. Now the tap is there. Now he needs to just swing out wide and connect on the spray. ATOX on map point. The smell of desperation is permeating through the ranks at GR. Quick boost up for Coolest. Reminder is gone. And in the meanwhile, this time Salo does have a bit more backup to help him out, sure, but that nade is not helpful at all. Molotov as well. Wecht is suffering cruelty at the hands of the CTs right now, but hey, rather the Ts, I'm lying to you guys. Salo finds Cabal, reveals his position down middle, and that puts in a lot more pressure up to Yami and the boys to actually start making a move on for things. Smokes down to plenty. Most of them, funnily enough, from the T side, but as QQ is accelerating forward, this should be a freebie that he is able to find. Coolest is expecting it, but not expecting the timing. QQ keeps going. There could have been 3, in fact, for him. And how low Yami was, but now Yami instead is just picking up the AWP and looking to see what he can find with it. The flashbang won't be connecting. Yami lies in wait, can't get the adjustment. Now 3 HP. I'm surprised he's not just taken down by that bullet there and then, but just trying to get them up away from them. Even if he goes down too far from it, there's a chance that they can't pick it up. Will they get to it in time? No, they can't. Maybe the op did go all the way forward. Thought it had slipped back down. First CT round found by the GR side. Smokes all the way through, but it is a faster play all the way to A. And it is going to be a quick advantage found, and with that the bomb can be planted. In the meanwhile, Coolest is the only, well, one of the only 2 players with a rifle. He will be looking to get a quick backstab now. He realizes Reminder is gone by. Reminder is wondering where the hell did he come from. CT retake is suddenly becoming a whole lot more difficult without that additional prong of assault. Nade down will reveal Yami's position, but also keep Salo nice and honest. Salo, however, just played distraction. Yami's taken down, not expecting Wecht to come in from behind. The quick double. Salo as well, reclaiming the bomb site, but Coolest is still alive. Running out of bullets, and Dobu's flank will not be realized. Coolest trying to find another gun, will be able to pick it up, was out of bullets on this one, and now that the smoke has dissipated, GR says goodbye. ATOX will find 13 on their opponent's map pick. It will be able to come through, clutch it all out, and what a back and forth series that was. Well, what a back and forth game that was. A lot of clutches going out to either side in the first half. It felt like rather it was going to be neck to neck all throughout, but the second half it was just domination from ATOX. That being said, though, we do have more Counter-Strike coming away. We can go to a small break right now. When we're back, it'll be up to map 2, which is going to be Mirage, ATOX's map pick. Welcome back to the ESL Challenger League Season 46 Asia Division. Of course, I did say that we'd be back with Mirage. That was going to be the map pick of ATOX, but I was wrong. I was very wrong. ATOX was the map pick. ATOX was picking Anubis. Mirage was the decider. As you can see, the video screen is upstairs as well, so you can always check that one out. I'm Tea Time, joined by no one, actually, funnily enough. If you came here from the tweet from the ESL CS account, we have had a bit of a... we've had a bit of something going on, unfortunately. We won't really get into it too much, but Michael isn't able to be here. But that's all okay. That means there's more airtime for me. And we know what casters are like. We were all losers growing up. We were all bullied and no one really let us have friends. And so we lent into trying to entertain people. And that's how we ended up into video games and entertainment altogether, right? Right? Wait, is that just me? Really? Goddamn. GR Gaming, however, are coming into the server having been bullied in their childhood. And by childhood, I mean about 10 minutes ago in Ancient. 13-7, the scoreline was perhaps more one-sided than the actual affair ended up being. It was a lot of 1v1s, a lot of 2v2s, a lot of close rounds transpiring. The kind of action that you do love to see, but unfortunately, it does still end up with GR taking the L. Anubis will be slightly harder time for them. Obviously, this is a map that ATOX has been putting a lot of work into. Has also ended up becoming a very stable map. A very staple map, rather, of the Counter-Strike scene in Asia. A lot of teams have been leaning over to Ancient and Anubis, so no real surprises about this map feed, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm actually trying to look back over towards the GR Gaming. Last time these two teams faced off versus each other, it was also a Mirage, Ancient, and Anubis, but that time Mirage was picked up earlier on, which is what I got confused with most likely. But Wecht is not confused at all. He is looking to try and get another kill down middle, but re-peeking into 3 players is never too easy. Salo reveals his position, and Mediocrity is also taking a very fast-paced push forward. Now, the bomb is trapped. Let's not forget. Salo tagged, and Mediocrity now looking for a kill that he's waited so patiently for. GR. Very good anti-strat over for whatever ATOX do pull together. I don't know if that's a call based on some demos that they've seen. I do know that these two teams scrim each other a fair bit. But regardless, I am quite impressed by what they set up for themselves, giving themselves a 4 versus 3 advantage as the bomb is being planted. Reminder spotted out early on, a couple of shots fired off, but Mick has now quickly evened the advantage. Now, is he going to go for the USP pickup? No, doesn't really risk it. Could be out of bullets. Reminder, meanwhile, trying to continue pushing forward. Yami, Mick is getting more and more kills. He was one of the more impressive members in Ancient, and right now just shooting into corpses before the round is even over. That is a mistake. Mediocrity now given a chance to actually fight this one out, but with the time ticking this slow, Mick can just win the round by simply staying alive, and he decides against it. He wants to take the kills. Great round from Mick in particular, but I have to say, GR almost take advantage of a drop ball from ATOX. They will, however, not be able to close out what was a very nice start to the round, at least. Again, forced buyout from GR, something that I expressed disapproval of in the previous map, in case you weren't tuning in. The reason for that is because there's just fewer rounds, right? You want to get to your gun rounds faster in MR12. The second round eco has become more meta as a result of it, but if you can get kills like that, then maybe it shouldn't be. Long range duels for Mediocrity to try and fight back with, but the wall bangs all over the shop. He will be keeping himself alive, could try and give the AK back a reminder, but the bomb is actually dropped. Mediocrity even gets a Molotov out, so he'll have some cover from behind the high flames. Unfortunately, he is sent to the high hells himself. Tobu's low. Bullet away from death, but that bullet will never connect. He's taking advantage of the wide swing meta that is obviously still very prevalent in CS2. Nice shot from Wecht. He had a slow start to Ancient, trying to make sure that isn't the same over here on Anubis. Ancient, I think he started off 1-10. Didn't end with a pretty score line either, but it's hard to end with a good time when you've had such a bad time in the beginning, right? It's only so much you can do. You're going to see a lot of people choose to save in a situation like this. Not Wecht. He knows that the scout is going to be next to useless in the next round. Unfortunately for him, it's also next to useless here. On the retake and a 1-on-2 with a scout versus a smoke that's still down with no kit. Yeah, that's a no from me, Chief. That's a no from me. My disapproval will have no bounds, however. I will say this. One of the few things that I do think that teams from lesser regions need to be much better about is managing economy. It's one of the things which you do not need experience in. You cannot blame the lack of leaders. You just need to follow along with sort of what is the maths is telling you. And the maths is telling me right now that mediocrity has bought up too much. You won't be able to drop the AWP in the next round. And well, QQ God is also taken down. That Zeus never used. And Reminder's got one of his own as well. Coolest continues his reign of chaos forward with a Mach 10. A lot of damage dealt even to Dobu, some of it. But regardless of how low these players are, they are still content with the kills that they have found. ATOX not losing a single man. Although they might send out a couple of these players on a death mission. Death mission, however, is not going to end up with them dying. That's the difference between a suicide mission and a death mission. Suicide missions very often have no chances of return. They make great Hollywood movies. Death missions, however, more like, well, I mean, just go forward. You're probably going to die, but hey, maybe you won't. Right? Maybe you won't. Nowhere near as entertaining. You know how hard it is to cast Tom Cruise for a movie where you can say maybe you don't die? It's called Mission Impossible, not Mission Improbable. Reminder, though, speaking of improbable, it is quite improbable that he can get a Zeus kill from that range, I have to say. No AWP, despite mediocrity having obviously picked up quite a bit of extra money for himself. What is going on here? He sold back the incendiary and the grenade. He maybe wants to go for a kit? No. Wow. They don't want incendiaries. Is this a stack being called? Normally you see something like this happen if there's a stack where maybe there's something to work off of. But a reminder, up behind the smoke, that doesn't work very well anymore. Not in CS2 at least. Yami's got the kill. Salo will be closed in upon with only 1 HP left. And Mach 10 is deadly. Jumping up and down. Wecht is finding a back turn. That will also allow GR to start pushing through A main all the way back towards the B bomb side they go. But Wecht is still lying in wait. Coolest creeps forward. Very little that he can really offer over here as Wecht, as the crosser is also in the wrong position. Coolest will be moving in and will not be taken down. Keeps himself alive. Maybe not for long, as mediocrity will also be coming through from the side also. And his QQ got to maybe find Yami. So a lot of damage dealt to the T side, right? So I do respect the fact that they save 3 weapons. They do a lot of damage. Mediocrity can drop the AWP in the next round. Still have enough money for a smoke and a flash, if I'm not wrong. But this is setting up GR for what could be a good comeback. But can they close out on this round? Because even if they do, T side money isn't wiped. You're still 1 round away from that. Or at least 1 more round away from it. Also, by the way, shout out to Jonas, the observer, for that X-ray toggling. Really love to see that whenever observers pull that out. Reminds me of my man Joshua Nissan. They're actually not Joshua or Josh. I'm not great with Western names, but still one of the pioneers of observing, who is going to be unbanned officially in 2025. Very exciting stuff to come through when that does happen. Mick, however, is excited about this kill, which he will collect on. QQ didn't make it any easier for Reminder to actually go out and take the duels. I love what GR are doing with how much control that they are trying to establish in canals. Mick will be cheated into thinking there's no one around the corner, but QQ is nicely nestled away. Mick is wary though. The anxiety of a backstab is proving too much, and he would rather just turn around and crack his neck open violently. Some people say violence isn't the answer, but those people haven't met Yami. For him it is. For him it is. 5-0, and I'm not talking about the amount of players that ATOX kept alive. I'm talking about the rounds. Things are getting a little bit out of control. GR would really like to be able to bring together just this one round. I'm surprised that they actually have enough money to be able to buy up over here. Maybe they know something I don't. Reminder, however, knows what it feels like to be dead. Wecht is going to be introduced to the same sensation. Salo peeking out wide, and the bomb will be dropped. Dobu is down. Coolest. Creep through. Makes out a Molotov for Ninja, but there's really only one player on the bomb site. Salo has not had a very successful game so far, but maybe this round is where things can turn, because he does need to find these last two as well. The full quad would be necessary. The first round where he's gotten a kill, and now he's gotten three of them. Only a one-on-one left. Cabal around the corner will be fading away. Salo almost catches him on that retreat. Cabal now spots out Salo peeking back and forth, and the grenade almost catching him. 15 HP is all he's left with Cabal. One-on-one, where he has every advantage except for positioning as he goes back to the A-bomb site. Salo's already there. But Cabal, he might have the advantage of timing. No, he's making noise. He's making so much noise. Salo with the quad kill. A 1-on-2, yes, but all 4 kills that he has had so far come over here. The first round for GR. I have heard a welcome sound of a user joining my channel. Well, oh, QQ's gone. Coolest this time was actually ready and waiting for the Canal's aggression that they have been going for multiple times over. Wecht is creeping past. The double doors will be hiding Yami. Yami might not realize it, but Wecht could also push through. See if he can get aggressive on his own, find a kill or two, but Salo's found Mick in the meanwhile. Salo, the hero of the hour, continues to extend the clock forward. Cabal down as well. Wecht and his aggression will come through with a big one. Not the second. It's Dobu to double up instead, but reminders, XM asserts dominance and gives him kills. That's called a multi-faceted weapon. One on two for Yami. Time's ticking down low. Unrecoverable? Yes, absolutely. But can you do anything with it afterwards? Questionable. Much more so. And reminder, he's now training onto that bomb. He is going to get timing. Yami. Oh, Yami's gone and done it. He's played the positioning perfectly. He doesn't even realize it. Everyone is turning away. Yami's got some sort of field of repulsion, but there's so little time. He feels like he needs to plant. He needs to get the kill immediately. Mediocrity around the corner will prevent him from breaking onto the bomb site. Second round on the board for GR. They thread 2 in a row. Dobu's down. Yummy. No. Mick's also going to be just fading backwards. Salo. Again, it feels like if not for Canal's aggression, they don't have too much planned out. And Salo is realizing that here and now. Yummy. Oh. Coolest is just holding down the line outside the B bomb site. So the question is, Are GR going to try and go for any sort of information on Wecht? You know, he could just try and take a peek forward. His patience is everything, but does the patience work out against you when Yami's also going for a flank? They have to realize it. Middle's been completely empty. Yami continues to tiptoe forward. They are keeping an eye out now, but they've lined up and Reminder's just looked away. Reminder going to be ducking in behind the bomb side pillars, and it's only Mediocrity and QQ God left. 40 seconds will be completely irrelevant as the bomb is planted, but QQ can maybe get a kill and 2 before they get onto the bomb site. Cabal going for the flank, coming in from behind. HP is low, but it will not matter. The backside is perfect. Cabal finds Mediocrity. QQ as well is not long for the world.
What a round from ATOX. Had extra space to be taken in through middle. This might be a welcome sight for some, but another voice joins in, so I apologize for leaving you alone for such a long time there, Tea Time.
I've missed you.
They left middle alone for such a long time, and there are repercussions for GR Gaming. ATOX with a lovely flank from middle, and then just, I mean, you know, you take a risk, you go for information, and sometimes the game giveth, and sometimes the game giveth, taketh away.
Right now it is takething awaying Rex life. Coolest. Finding a lot of these players trying to swing out wide. GR have been finding success with that, but unfortunately success is limited to duels, not rounds, as you can see reflected on the overall score line. 6-2, looking to be 7, unless QQ pulls out the round of his life, and something tells me that's probably not going to happen.
Well, I mean, that's a solid start. Took 0 damage for his wide swing and overwhelmed Yami, and also takes very minimal damage on the second fight. They are really not doing a great job of making this impossible, but it's very good damage from QQ, all things considered. Still an ATOX round.
Yeah. Listen, it would really suck if he had the round of his life in a game where he's going down 2-6 and they don't make a comeback, right? Like that would kind of suck. So maybe it's good that he didn't have the round of his life.
I mean, it depends who you're asking, really. I'm sure QQ would have enjoyed a highlight.
Well, GR would have as well.
Yeah. A lot of
They're looking more like, they're looking more like spectators, unfortunately, in their own game. But Wecht would like to be a player. Mediocrity as well, with the secondary up, comes alive in a big way.
Oh, great chance, and a nice little bit of recovery here from GR. Some solid opening kills, decide to take the fight. ATOX weren't even really interested in bringing that package anywhere, left it in T-spawn, but Cabal might be resetting there in just a moment alongside his teammates. It is really nice to see them getting sort of rewarded for going for some of these aggressive plays. Anubis is a map where it does feel like you have to make some kind of call at the start of each round, whether that's playing double mid setups, you know, nading outside of outside of A main to T steps, maybe even pushing dark, for example. You know, these are some of the options for a CT player to get an advantage or hunt for information very early, because you can actually get some nice flanks off. But so yeah, to see GR get some of these opening kills, it basically means that you could just very clearly even re-aggress other areas of the map if they're spotting out some of the extra numbers while also getting a kill on top of it.
The double up really helped out though, because before, when they were trying to aggressive, what they're doing is they're just walking out into canals from every angle that they can, and look, it makes it brawly. I will give them that. They succeed in creating chaos, but that doesn't actually help you get the round win very often. Ball. Smoke's about to be saying bye-bye, but there's another bit still left, so Cabal will have the cover that perhaps he didn't expect when he heard that grenade going out. Dove was great with the first kill. Mediocrity's trade will be limited as he's missed the second shot. Cabal's got 2 big ones. Massive introduction right into dark, and with that, it is exit stage A for GR. They're going to be looking to save these last two weapons.
That has to be a bit disappointing. You know, you just have an overwhelming defense the round prior, and now just on a standard defensive hold, ATOX bursting through into B main, and these players at dark just get overwhelmed as well. I mean, Cabal is doing a fantastic job of punishing some of the lack of presence sometimes here from GR Gaming. Maybe not just Cabal. You know, we had that flank round from Yami as well in through middle. You know, identifying gaps and maybe as well, you know, kind of pitching the idea to GR. Listen, if you guys want to win rounds here on the CT side, you need to take the fight to us. There's not many more rounds left in the half. In fact, there's numerically only one, and GR could really use it.
You are numerically correct.
Yes, the best type of correct.
Wecht has had a much better game than in Ancient, I have to say, but unfortunately where he has stepped up, Reminder has stepped down. Does feel like you can't get all 5 pistons flaring up in this engine, and a lot of that comes down to ATOX. They've been so good at shutting down this aggression, and right now it continues forward. Cabal, now that he's been left alone over towards his A-bomb site, he's been doing a very good job of just preventing that Canal's pressure forward. Reminder is good for one. Maybe when his name is called, that is when he should be delivering. Smoke will be dissipating before they've crossed over. A second kill to come through, but Coolest trades a 3-on-3. Flashbang overhead as they're worried about Wecht's position. There is the scout, obviously, but will be allowing the bomb to cross over. Mediocrity is going to be late on this flank. By the time it comes through, they're already starting to account for it. Mick will be unexpected, but Mediocrity still finds him as Mick strays backwards. Now a 2-on-3. Coolest trying to find one kill, just make it even. Will be able to do so. The scout is down. Second one almost come through as well. Tech 9 long range is never good, and QQ will be able to shut it down. This nade, however, is going to be massive. We just connected a little bit more effectively. Now, unfortunately, Cabal's going to be missing the grenade here. And now QQ was low. He was the one with the kit. That's why he felt like he had to go forward. The nade down, and it will be time bought, but Mediocrity will have barely just enough to contest for the defuse. Will it happen? Oh. Yes, it will. 4 on the board for GR. They maintain hope as we move into the second half. They do find themselves a little bit of breathing room in that last round, even if it was without any oxygen left in their chests. 4 rounds on the board for GR as they look to equalize, but ATOX want to close it out here and now.
Yeah, looking increasingly likely that that will be the case as well. A dually setup with quite a lot of support from his players on the bomb site. Yami even getting some information on the player is committed towards the canals, but Dobu's got a flash prime. Mick, 1 kill, and Dobu will swing out wide with that flash. In fact, a secondary frag. And Yami just getting that information. He knew that Mediocrity had to rendezvous somehow through Dark. GR Gaming get chewed out on B.
Dobu's been an absolute nightmare to deal with. Even back on Ancient, he was doing such a good job of anchoring out the bomb site, be it with Falmonses, with 5-7s, whatever it may be. His CT side presence looks incredibly impressive so far, and it is a slightly different look for him. He did always play anchoring before as well, but it felt like, you know, when things were desperate and whatnot, and when I say before, I'm talking about like years ago, he did look to shift away from that within the game. Right now, Dobu just feels like he's so much more confident in his teammates and everything. It is really nice to see.
Well, here's a nice reminder. Down through that smoke, it's a little scary. Yeah, caught on the reload. Dobu overwhelmed, so 2 entries here for GR, but there's no space enough for this bomb to go down. The swing from the SMG has to be once again collected upon, but it's trades on trades. Coolest has brought it back into a one-on-one and taking the long route around to see if he can get into the head of QQ, but he might have overthought it himself.
Yeah, QQ's not worried about this one bit. He knows he just needs to plant and wait for the tapping sound. Okay, he's just going back.
Gotta challenge something.
Listen, the kid is also, if I remember correctly, the kid is deep in Temple. Right? So recovering that and actually getting to the bomb site is just going to add another 5 seconds on it regardless. But without it, you just lose a round. QQ God, really nicely played in that 1v1 over there. And I have to say, GR they've been doing a great job of making these rounds incredibly chaotic, be it in Ancient, be it over here. And that's just another one of those situations where, you know what, it looks like a standard execute, left side smoke, and then get the bomb plant down. That's normally the call. You don't want to contest into Temple and whatnot, but because they've got Mac 10s, they just rush right through.
Yeah, I mean, getting a lineup and having a smoke that can be deployed so quickly towards the left side of the bomb site is I guess one of the key things there for GR, because they go in with that extra pace that ATOX just get completely caught off guard. You know, they try to do some things to counteract it. Could have boosted over that smoke, but so they make a sound cue, a smoke that blooms in front of Wet's face, and actually gets his good timing onto Coolest, turning the wrong way. Well, that's surprisingly unideal. At least there's a counter kill. Mick didn't hold on to his rifle for very long, but GR Gaming do get themselves into a second round. All bouncing off of that 1v1 from QQ. With the pistol, lose the following. That's about as poor as you can start on the CT side. And so now ATOX do have to just bend the knee. This is a real opportunity that's opened up here for GR Gaming. And I do want to see them kind of play with some of that pace. I think I've enjoyed their rosters in the past just being a bit more brawly than some of the other teams, which I know within the Asia division, sometimes people will think, wait, they're an aggressive team within Asia, but aren't all Asian teams aggressive? And this is a little awkward. Yami, I mean, that's some of the aggression that can happen sometimes, but slipped right underneath the watchful eye of Mediocrity and gets his hands on a rifle as well.
QQ is able to get the response at the very least, while Reminder is just having a very slow duel back over to the A-bomb site as he now starts to look for a little bit more. This will end up perhaps forfeiting more weapons than they'd like, so Reminder realizes that does back off eventually. I would like to imagine that's himself giving out the call, not an IGL call in the background, but all's well that ends well, and it ends with 4 players kept alive for GR, and ATOX will still not be in the best of positions to buy.
It's gonna sound so strange what I'm about to say, because we watch completely different things from what the players do, but it looked like a Reminder had like low FPS when he was spraying there. I don't know how to describe it, but there was a significant amount of panic behind his spray, and it seemed like he was almost like shooting slower. Maybe I'm just Maybe I'm imagining things.
Very much could be. Cabal is imagining having full HP. Michael, I think that's called daydreaming, though, as he will be taken down and out for it. Trades are still decent. Dobu keeps it even.
Takes a certain amount of nerve to just stand in the middle of that smoke when you've already been tagged up so low. Great flash. That's fantastic. Get the information about the bomb being in middle as well. And Reminder is here to try and trade things out, but you know, if that bomb is in mid and if they had any sort of territory towards A, then GR could understand that their plan might be sussed out, but instead it's still very default, still very split. And oh god, that's a little awkward. Yami a chance to extend their man advantage. It's found eventually by Coolest.
Yeah, Coolest does it anyway, right? Mediocrity is also low, will continue to be peppered down, and yeah, easy peasy. That should be pretty much the end of the round, as Coolest will also spawn out the last one. QQ is just waiting for death, and it will be delivered. Now, I've got to say, this is one of the reasons why these two teams are actually a very good matchup for each other, even though I think ATOX is a better team overall. Because you can even see over there the way they're fighting in mid, right? ATOX is a brawly team inherently. They like to push on CT side. They like to let their individuals go to work, and they rely on their anchors to then, you know, sort of calm things down. But when they meet a team that's even more brawly than them, it feels like ATOX is trying to level, sort of be equal to them, rather than try and reset the pace back to what they would prefer. And yeah, they still come out on top right now, right? But you can see all of that chaos and all of that back and forth, a couple of timing windows missed, and they just lose.
I think that is actually, you know, it's a very interesting discussion between, you know, what you should do versus what works, almost, right? If a team is more willing to take individual fights on CT side and is more willing to take sort of that initiative where some teams maybe would be more defensive, then if that's their read on you as a team, right? Like, we understand ATOX to be a team that's pretty well structured. You know, they do adapt very heavily to how their opponents play. If they have the read that ATOX play a little bit more execute heavy and more pack based CS, then actually spreading out across the map and, you know, and taking these fights to them can sometimes catch your opponent off guard, because they know that ATOX have the larger rapport. They're definitely one of the prospect teams within the region, you know, to cause an upset. And PR would have wanted to try and take one over on them, but yeah, ATOX are maybe giving them a few too many fights, maybe more than they even want.
And at the same time, they are winning a lot of these rounds, so maybe they're just thinking, why fix what ain't broken? Might eventually break, though. It is stressing out. Reminder inside the flames. Couldn't let the heat get hotter, as he will end up falling. But it's a 1-for-1 trade, at least.
Nick, 50 HP, and knows that he cannot really take a proper gunfight. Didn't have the help to trade, but there's at least a trade across the map, even if it's not on the players that have been in combat. Still 3-on-3, and this does make things very difficult here for ATOX. On the CT side of Anubis, there will be massive gaps that open up, so they do decide to play together and embrace those gaps. Oh dear.
Vector's not ready for the full abandonment of the B-bomb site now. Even now, they don't know, because Yami had revealed his position earlier on, so Dobu, I don't think he spotted the bomb, but regardless, it won't be easy to go back and recover. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. Mediocrity, if he dies here, the round's gone.
Well, we got the info, and the nade as well. Mediocrity, what a jiggle into the tap, but needs to get this bomb over to one of the bomb sites. 12 seconds to make the journey. I don't think he has it, and it all just relies on Yami surviving. Yeah, Mediocrity knows that it has to be a hunt, and it is a little too late. QQ switching, and quick switching might just be a part of his name. An 11th round here for ATOX. That's robbery. GR have the man advantage, just no time on that clock.
It's really impressive that ATOX goes for a call like that to abandon the B bomb site there when they know that mediocrity has consistently been lurking outside, right? You never know if someone's just going to walk in and then, you know, maybe just get full information, try and go back for the bomb and everything. But with Dobu finding that early kill, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. Even then, it's so difficult. Could have just been a death for Yami either way. And yeah, that's all she wrote for GR as they do let the time run out. And with this, Salo is also on a deagle. It won't have the AK. Coolest will also remove QQ from the server. Mediocrity, no different fate awaits him.
Last time Reminder got the one up over Cabal, but oh god, Coolest missing out on his flick, and Reminder gets a couple chances on life, but he's now the last man standing. His team didn't quite get the memo that he's supposed to have 9 of them. ATOX now 1 round away from closing out this series. GR Gaming have put up a fight, that's for sure, but just because they scrap pretty well doesn't mean they're ready to take a swing at one of our Asian prospects.
No, absolutely. I mean, GR, the work that they've put in is commendable in the Asian region with how far that they've actually ended up coming and everything. But you know what? Scrappiness will also only take you so far. It does feel like they are still need a little bit more structure as well to have that second dimension to their game, and right now there's no second dimension, there's no second chances. They just need to get onto this bomb site, get some kills, and they're just not coming their way. Dobu with the triple wants to keep it going, and it will be just almost a full ace to be set up, and indeed it is. What a way to end it out. Dobu does it in style. 20 kills for him across that map.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic showing here from Dobu and also the rest of this ATOX squad. It felt like they had a lot of opportunities, they took a lot of open space, and they punish the GR Gaming side for playing this very sort of aggressive and also, you know, doubling up together for a lot of information peaks. ATOX really embraced that side of their game and really, I mean, just took it in stride. I mean, a really commendable performance to not only get all these flanks and have all these nice executes as well.
And I mean, for ATOX, this was a very important win because they are now going to be 6-2. That is still keeping them in league to theoretically compete with the Tyloo side, who are currently on 7-2. I'm not quite sure what the matchups will be looking like going forward. Tyloo does have a few difficult ones, to be honest. They do still have one versus New Happy. We know there can be upsets over there. But beyond that, Tyloo should be able to win out every one of their matches. ATOX, on the other hand, they've still got, you know, they've still got a couple of the maybe slightly trickier ones to deal with. Specifically, I think they've got NBD, Noobs with Diligent, who have been doing well. They also did pretty well for themselves in the IEM China qualifiers, only losing out on the last stage of the Open qualifiers. But hey, regardless, both these teams will be neck to neck to try and get one of those top 2 seeds moving forward. As far as GR is concerned, rather, they should be a lock for playoffs, even despite this loss to be coming through. But it does definitely put them in a slightly more precarious spot where New Happy, Wings Up could theoretically come through and overtake them. They're on 5-4, and now they're competing with NBD, Wings Up, and New Happy as far as the standings are concerned. Would have been a match that they would have liked to take away, but unfortunately just can't get it done. Can't get all 5 players activated at the same time. And yeah, you know what? Learning will have to occur, but unfortunately it'll have to occur for the next match that they will be having. For now, though, we've got to be closing out the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to be coming back from Mo Asian Counter-Strike tomorrow. It'll be Lin Vision versus ODG. Same time, same place, same faces. I do believe Michael's spirit animal will have to say goodbye to you guys as well. But regardless, he's taking his time. That was a hot series, yeah? But regardless, we're going to be closing out the show for now. Make sure you're tuning into the European division as well. And we're going to see you guys all next time.
back.